Welcome in, I'm Hunkleberry Finn. You've found my YouTube channel and we are going to get stuck into FM22 with a save in Scotland. We're going to go from League 2 to the very top of football. Maybe. Let's go beyond Blue Brazil. Hello again. My save this year will be with Cowdenbeath, the Blue Brazil, affectionately known that, a little tongue-in-cheek. If you have a look into the history of the nickname, there are a few different stories. One say it was given to them based on the fact that they don't win anything. Another one says it's because there was once a comment about how they had the same national deficit as Brazil. I like to think it's because of their amazing football prowess, but as you'll see, they haven't won a lot. But again, we love an underdog story. We're wanting to embrace the grind. This save will not just simply be take this team to the very top by any means necessary. We will also be playing a Brazilian box. Now, so the Brazilian box made famous or rose to prominence in 1982 with a Brazilian team at the World Cup. Some people would have thought that that World Cup actually was going to be won by Brazil, but they actually, in the end, kind of like imploded on themselves. It's a very risk-heavy, reward-heavy type system, and what you'll find is what we're going to look to do is have 6 players in each attacking phase. Now, ideally, that will always be the corresponding box and the wing backs, but you may see that maybe a defensive mid moves a little bit forward, and maybe one of the wing backs holds his position. Depends on how we sort of build it. I've never played a Brazilian box for a long period of time in Football Manager. It's just something that came to me. It's Blue Brazil, playing a Brazilian box. It makes sense. That it would be fun to do. It's a challenge. I don't think I've ever seen a Brazilian box in Scotland in real life. Certainly not. So that's the plan. It's more about squad building. We'd like to bring through youth. There's going to be a big emphasis on that. So it's going to be a long save, hopefully. If you do enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, please drop a like and comment below on what you think will be the hardest position to fill. I'm leaning towards defensive mid because it's so important to the system. We need someone to be able to hold there, but be a very good passer of the ball because it's such a linchpin. The attacking mids are very much going to be on the forefront, so we need that link between our defensive phase and the attacking phase. So we'll get stuck into it and we'll see where we end up. And we're in. We are now the Cowdenbeath manager, the Blue Brazil, and we're going to mix things up. Part of this save, obviously a long-term save, I'd really like to get a little Brazilian flair in the team, and that includes the staff. We're going to, because this is a YouTube save, I could probably take a little more time than I normally do on these sort of saves. I'm normally fly by the seat of my pants type Football Manager. We're going to take our time. We're going to think about this. Now, we know the shape we want to play in. The question now becomes, well, can the players fit what our needs? Can the players do it? So as you can see from Cowdenbeath, they're happy for me to join. We'll go into the manager profile I've given myself. Basic training, basic youth facilities, fairly basic youth recruitment. That's positive. There are some teams at this level that will not have any of that, so very happy that we at least have a youth system. Fairly low reputation. Media prediction has us 9th, so first season could be a real struggle. We're in this for the long haul. We're not in it for, we're not going to overpay for players to have come in and drag us to a title challenge. We have no transfer budget anyway. I see a familiar face. A cheeky wee smile. He is going to be key. He's going to be key because effectively he needs to be. He needs to be very good for us. Right, so club vision. They want us to sign players under the age of 23. I can do that. Work within the budget. That's going to be tough. Maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 33. I think that's fine. They would like mid-table. A third round Scottish Cup appearance and then Premier Sports Cup be competitive. Yeah, we'll have a press conference. Intra-squad friendly to assess squad when possible. Yes. And then every fortnight, every month. I think I'm going to go for that, to be honest. We replace previous manager Gary Bolin. I'm guessing he wouldn't want to come back, would he? No, I didn't think so. Worth a try. We got many players in the last year of the contract. It is promising that some of these players look to be okay. So we've contracts been offered to a few. Interesting. We've offered a new contract to a 33-year-old winger. We maybe have to make some hard choices. Maybe also got a couple of younger players look okay. I mean, they've got potential. That's decent. Yeah, very interesting. As you can see, it doesn't look like huge money is going to be an issue here. Now, Craig Thompson, I've been told to keep an eye out for him. Free kicks 13, corners 15, so he would definitely be useful on corners. Where's the main man? So this is the basic shape I'm going for. The central attacking midfielders will actually be in centre mid, because I feel like having a big gap between the defensive midfield and the centre attacking midfielders, if we were to actually play them as centre attacking midfielders, not ideal. And we do want to play these two strikers out and out. One is currently an advanced forward, because I feel like in an ideal world we'd get him to be a complete forward support or a complete forward attack, but we're not going to be able to get that at this level. And an actual deep line forward, so we're looking for someone to basically lay on assists, drop into the space behind him. That he will get support from the two more attack-minded midfielders. I've gone with a box-to-box midfielder, a central midfielder attack. We'll keep an eye on that one. Possibly need to sort of feel out the roles. I mean, we haven't even looked at the squad, but this is kind of like where my mind's going for a base system. We're going to go with the wing backs on attack. I think that's key early on, just because they give us that width. Keep the team instructions really simple. We got a whole preseason to sort of work this out and, you know, try and get some results from the team before we actually hit the league. Set pieces and all that will be key as well. My gut feeling straight away is we try and get the likes of Fraser Mullen in the squad just for his free kicks alone. I mean, I know the man can deliver, so... He's not rated. He's actually listed. I think we'll take that off. First big decision. Transfer status. No status set. Bam. I think what I'll do is I'll take a minute to sort of fill out the team, and then we'll take a look and see what we've got. See where there are some obvious gaps, if any. I think there'll be one or two. So, it's quite interesting, actually, if you look at this team. There's a few gaps I'd like to fill. Now, ignore the fact that Fraser Mullen is in as an anchor defend. I might look to change that. I just don't know to what. Maybe just a defensive midfielder defend. I think we could maybe try and carry Fraser Mullen for a set piece delivery. Would be very useful. I think we're going to need some backups for the wing backs. Happy that we've got what appears to be not so great goalie, but apparently is decent for this level. So decent player for most League 2 sides, so we're going to believe them. I mean, he's young, got potential, good reflex, his handling's alright. He's just above average in most things. That'll be interesting. Not gonna lie. Could do with, I'm not convinced by the centre backs we have here, so we might have to have a little bit of a dig, see if we can find something a bit better. I'm gonna start getting some of the wide players to start working on playing as a wing back attack, and I think some central midfielders, possibly some loans. So it looks like we've got 2 loans already. So and to be honest, neither one right now filling me with a lot of confidence. But again, if I convert them to wing backs, or convert the wide men to wing backs, it might not be so bad. I mean, who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Elsewhere, it looks like we're lacking a little in staff, so it is just me and David McGurn, who's a player / goalkeeper. Now, David McGurn actually is a pretty decent goalkeeping coach for this level, so happy enough to keep him. To be honest, he's not a terrible backup goalkeeper. He's consistent. I mean, my coaches don't rate him, but the funny thing is, he's the only coach I've got, so he doesn't rate himself. Think about it. I mean, hell, we need a bit of everything. Assistant manager, I don't think head of youth development is as important right now. We seem to be glitched out, which is great. Get a chief scout advert. Scouts, and we need a physio. We appear to have a head physio, so let's have a look. Oh boy, how much are we paying them? £50, and they're wanted by loads of what? Why? Sophie Mars wanted by a lot of teams. I don't get it. You know what? It's actually a really small squad. Now keep in mind, we're playing a very distinct shape, and we're going to have to sort of feel it out, but that squad looks very small. Very small as in the amount of people, and also we don't have a lot of height, so we certainly want to maybe bring in a loan or two to get us going. Finance wise, we are in between a rock and a hard, jagged, sharp thing. Very little in the wage budget. Very little in the wage budget, and we're not paying anyone that much, are we? £250 per week for Kyle Hutton. £250 for David McGurn. Ah, David. Right, that is a problem. Kane O'Connor on 200. I mean, Craig Thompson 200. Fraser Mullen 150. Bobby Barr, Craig Barr. We're unlikely to get better deals for a lot of these players as the lower we go down, to be honest. I think loans are going to be essential to how we operate. We obviously don't have a scout right now, so we need to get that on board as well. Looking ahead, we've obviously got the Premier Sports Cup, which used to be called the Betfred Cup. If you haven't managed in Scotland, it is actually one of the better things about managing Scotland and the Scottish Football League, in my opinion. Nice little round robin at the start. If you manage to qualify, you go through and you've got a very good chance to land in one of the big boys. That's when the teams in Europe start enter the competition, so it can be very big for like a smaller club. We actually get to play Elgin City in our group. Raith, Livingston, Forfar. I've seen much harder groups. We'll take that for our first Premier Sports group. Still going to be tricky though. We've actually got Kelty Hearts up first in the league, and I do believe that they are the team to watch out for this year, so it'll be interesting. As I said before, season preview has us down in 8th, 9th was what I was predicting earlier. 8th. Yeah, we're not favoured. Kelty Hearts are heavy favourites, so it's going to be very tricky, I think, just based on how much they're fancied, to be honest. It feels like a lot. So we'll see. Doesn't look like we've got an analyst team, so that's a bit of a concern. I assume we'll still get some information after a couple of league games, but I won't hold my breath. Stadium conditions very poor. That's not great. I actually really like that kit. That is nice. I actually like that one too. Keep an eye out for them. I really like that one. It's unfortunate the sponsor, but to be honest, I like a black and sort of grey kit. Very nice. Only having £65 per week to spend on staff, players, etc. is quite concerning. It doesn't fill me with a lot of hope leading up to the season. But we'll see. Very tricky. Very tricky. Not overly sure what we can really do. Oh, I don't know how I've done this to myself. I've ended up with both saves that I've looked at so far. FM22, Land of Giants on Twitch. Got no money. Well, I didn't expect to have money here, but like, it's very tight. There's not money for staff, which is one of the things I was kind of hoping to take my time around. If we can get a senior affiliate... Oh, not a trial day. No. Wow. No senior affiliate. That didn't go well. Well, that is very unfortunate. That's the primary tactic. Being trained good. I mean, my gut feeling says that we're going to play Cowdenbeath second 11 and it is not going to go well because we are in a Brazilian box and I don't even know if my players have ever heard of it. Oh, dynamics ain't great, are they? Let's introduce myself. It would just feel a bit disingenuous. Right, they've said no trial day, that's fine. So finances are in the toilet. Right, we're going to do first team versus the under 18 team. The under 18 team doesn't really exist. They've got Pollock. And they got Watson. Both of them centre backs and they're both not playing centre back. We'll throw them in as centre back. I don't care where they are ones. Gill, Thompson, O'Connor, Todd, Clark. I don't remember. I don't think Clark, off the top of my head. Harvey Swan is the player I'd probably rather play. And it's mainly, you know what? He can run. I think we'd go Harvey Swan instead. Hutton as the defensive midfielder. Morrison, I would swap Collins, and then I'd swap Collins out for Mr. Fraser Mullen, who I think is the better choice. I actually think we swap them around and have the Kyle as the deep line playmaker, unless I'm missing something. I think that makes more sense. Miller, Renton is not the choice I would have there either. Liam Buchanan. So let's see how this gets on. We're going to play a pre-season friendly against the under 18s here. We are in the Brazilian box, the blue Brazilian box, what I'm looking to work on and play. The team likely don't know who I am. Understandable. We are going to be key highlights in this save. It just means we can fit into games and episodes. So we'll play this on key highlights, and big games will probably go extended. You know, cup finals, they'll like give the real authentic feel. And by authentic, I mean like how I normally play. They are moving the ball well. I'm hoping that is down to the system. I mean, right now it just looks like a massive bodies at the back, doesn't it? We were going to have to get an analyst in, or hope that the analyst after 3 games will actually show us something. Mahadi picks the ball up, keeps it in play, which is nice so far. Oh, little burst of pace. This is one of the loanies. He tries to play in for Buchanan, and that's the end of that. Mullen. Oh, he's hit the bar. I almost hit the alarm there, as if we need it when we hit the bar. So this is obviously real early doors in full FM22 release. I haven't really done much. That's a great ball to Buchanan. Buchanan, who's the deep line forward, doesn't really have the pace. It's really oh, it's a good goal by Miller. Kyle Miller gets forward. He is playing as the, I want to say, oh, he's the box-to-box midfielder. That's what it is. Not the centre midfield attack. Now, that's promising though, because Buchanan lays on him. The other striker actually started the play, was a bit further behind, but regardless, it's not too bad now. The deep line forward does move out wide there because it didn't really have the pace, but it's a great assist from him. And one of the key things for these, the deep line forwards, or like the deeper they are, he really needs to be able to pass. Like those two players, ideally the strikers we look for in the future, I want them both very good passers because they need to be able to play the attacking midfielders in. A bit like what just happened there. It's a free header. Oh, it's a save, but then Pollock comes in. Ross Pollock with a rebound now. Gale makes a mess of that, and that is a concern. Early concern. The goalkeeping there. Now Todd also doesn't get to that second ball, which is poor, but it's pre-season. Even against our under 18, I can't really drive too much conclusion from that. Oh, that we can. Now Swan gets that clear, but that's poor. Another bar hit. We'll just move quickly into the second half. I'm gonna say we need passion. I mean, I want to set a precedent in what I'm looking from this team from the get-go. Really, I mean, it's not really that long until we play actual games, so I'm going to take my time slowly through pre-season, and by the next episode we will open with our first one of our first games in the Premier Cup, I guess. Luke Mahadi scores the goal, one of our loan signings. He was already at the club when I joined. He looks like the obvious advanced forward option. We've only got £65 to spend, so I think I'm going to do a lot of not wheeling and dealing. We're going to try and stretch the budget. We're going to take a look. I might even offer out some contracts, see if I can get people to reduce their wages. It's really not. I'm really not sure how to approach it right now. We'll make a change at centre back. We'll make a change at left back. We're just bringing on anyone who looks like they can kind of play. Thompson, keeper, just keeps it out there. Thompson sitting further forward. Now that was interesting. I think that was my throw-in. I've set up something different on the throw-in. In theory, Ross Pollock with another header. So Ross Pollock, he's in our youth team. He can head a ball. Noted. He's gonna end up getting games this season because right now he's torturing our first team defense. Miller with an injury. That we don't like that. We'll take on Ian Sims. Morrison to Mullen. Mullen to Thompson. Morrison. I mean, thus far, I like the movement and stuff. That's a goal. Whoa, what a hit by Gavin Morrison. It is the under 18s, but I don't think it's from set pieces we've struggled. If anything, set pieces have caused us an absolute nightmare, but shape-wise, you really can't draw much from this other than if you lose to your under 18s, the likelihood is the system you're playing isn't working. It's a bit like when you lose if you lose a preseason friendly and you're actually playing it, or if you and your levels above them and they beat you, something's not right. Pollock with another header. He's an absolute monster. Right, I think what we're going to do here, I'm going to lower the tempo. Do we be more expressive? Do we have them roam from position? We should play for set pieces because we're so good at set pieces. I'm gonna play for set pieces because Fraser Mullen, Thompson. Typically, Brazilian box not designed to be like great from set pieces, but this will be our blue Brazil spin because they both can absolutely hit a free kick, and that is another goal from Morrison. Again, probably not going to read too much in against the under 18s, but nice that Morrison at least looks lively in that position. He's playing as the centre midfield attack, so yeah, that's the if he scores that in open play during a league game, we'll be very happy. The Premier Cup is an interesting one that we're going to be involved in. I'm almost tempted to take the goalie off, but I won't. I'll take Buchanan off, throw on this Luke Mitchell lad. We're just switching it up to get some fresh legs, and we win our first game. XG looks very good. We look terrible from defending set pieces, and it was only against our under 18s, so we can't read too much into it, but it's about the fitness, you know. I'm going to say we're happy with performance. We need to get the boys on side. We need to get the boys on side. Miller injured 11 to 14 days. That's disappointing. That is disappointing. Yeah, so lots to think about. Lots to think about indeed. And that'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. It really just easing into the new save, introduction to who we are, what we're going to try and play. Give you a slight look at the Brazilian box that I'm going to be working on. Probably a much bigger sort of update at the start of the second episode. How the preseason's gone. Any sort of changes I've made to the tactic. Including playing for set pieces maybe. We'll see how we get on. I'm not sure if we'll bring in any bodies. I'll be looking for loans that are free because we ain't got none. Staff as well. We're going to look at staff. If I could bring in a coach or scouts on the very cheap, that might be where our money goes. But we'll see. And it'll be back Premier Cup on Friday 5 PM. So thank you for watching. Get ready for a long save. I'm excited. I'm also a little disappointed we've got no money to work with straight off the bat. I thought I'd have some. Anyway, take care, embrace the grind, and I'll see you on the other side.